Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here with lifeafterdeath.com. Lifeafterdeath.com is a community of people who, like you, are interested in topics related to life after death, to the afterlife, near-death experience, and all kinds of issues related to spirituality. We look at the fear of death and talk to experts about their perceptions and their experiences of this topic. And today I wanted to talk to you about where our first thoughts about the afterlife occur, and why, what are the questions that people in our community have asked us about this whole concept. And the answers were really quite amazing, and I'd like to refer you to the article which is linked here in this video so you can read their comments and understand better what people have got on their minds. So we're glad that you're here. We're on this journey too. We're all investigating and asking questions, and sure that that's something you're interested in too. Now, various religious traditions throughout the age have tried to explain and to inspire and give us a glimpse of what life after death might be. But in truth, we don't know. And so here are some of the questions that people have raised. Are we born with a belief in the afterlife? Now, children have a very interesting perspective on everything. And if you know, children see things sometimes that we don't see. They have a wisdom that is very, very unique. And so, as we get older, why do we, how do we develop the actual thought about an afterlife? Is it something that we just, have to accept because we can't deal with our annihilation? We can't deal with the fact that we're, there's nothingness that we're going to be experiencing, and we have to come up with some answers and some possible explanations? Or is it that we have a residual knowledge of life after death before, as children, have a memory of life before birth? It's a very interesting conversation. Now, people with different religious traditions and different beliefs might have an explanation for this, but I think it's really fascinating to think about what is the relationship between Earth and the afterlife, and how our thoughts about that relationship have evolved over our life. The second thing that people often ask is, what happens? What is the meaning of life? Will it become clear after we die? And this is very interesting. What are we here for? Has a greater power put us on the earth here for a reason? Are we developing our consciousness to a point where we will move on to the next level in our growth? Sacred writings give us some hints and some suggestions, but you almost have to be in the place where the person writing the scripture was in order to understand the answer. It's sort of like the question doesn't really fit the case until we're further along. And is it that perhaps life is just a shadow of what is going to be possible when we gain that knowledge and that understanding? It's an interesting question. Another one that people often raise is, do animals go to heaven? Now, if you have a very strong relationship with your pets, you will absolutely think that God, in his wisdom, would never turn his back or her back on animals. They have a soul and a consciousness just like human beings do. But, do non-humans have a soul? That's a question that we'll be looking at here in lifeafterdeath.com and trying to understand it ourselves. We don't know. Is the soul different than a human soul? What is it that happens to pets when they die? Very, very good question. Now, do we have emotions in the afterlife? This is a question that other people have asked. We know that the emotions and memories are stored somewhere. They're energy patterns that are stored somewhere. But without a body, a physical body, do we experience emotion? And if so, how does that work? How does that actually work? Instead of the earthly emotions of, love or hate or anger or grief or desire, are those emotions different when we die? Do we raise the level of emotions to a different level? Maybe more of a love and connection with the divine? Or is there what happens to consciousness after we die? And our physical body can no longer contain those emotions that we are used to defining. Great question. Another question people ask is, are humans the only ones that we'll see in the afterlife? And I love this question because science proves that the universe is so huge and enormous and mind-bogglingly confusing and complex. is it possible that we could ever have a place where there would only be one type of human being? I mean, are there other civilizations? Are there other cultures? What might we see in the afterlife that is not from our own, definition or stereotype or understanding of humanity? I think that's another super fascinating question. And I think as we all live on a bit here on this planet, more and more discovery is being made all the time. And maybe that question will be clearer and answered even as we go through our lives in the next 20, 30, 40 years. Do other intelligent beings have souls? I don't know. But these are the kinds of questions that we're going to be discussing here on lifeafterdeath.com, and really welcome your contributions. I'm sure as we continue this journey with videos and articles on our website, we will, find more questions and probably less answers, but it will be interesting to have the dialogue together. So now the last one I guess that I want to mention is the near-death experience. And maybe some of you have had this experience. People who have had the experience tend to be drawn to people to validate and share their experience. But that's another one that people ask about a lot, and one that we will be definitely talking to experts about. People who, I say experts in the sense that they have gone through something similar to this and have a story to tell. So I think that will be a really fascinating conversation. And hope you stay with us and join us and subscribe to our channel here so that you'll get told whenever our videos are released. That would be really wonderful. So which one of these questions do you find most fascinating? What are your questions about the afterlife? Please leave your comments in the section below and we'll have a conversation about this. We'll join in and carry on our curiosity and our desire to approach this topic in a calm and balanced and interesting way. So thank you so much for being here. Please check out our website, lifeafterdeath.com, and just enjoy the journey, the conversation. That's what we're here to share together. And tell us, what of these questions do you find most interesting, or do you have a question about the afterlife that you would like to pose? Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Thank you for the conversation and for the good energy, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.